In 1983, LJN introduced an action figure toy line based on the incredibly popular tabletop fantasy game known as Advanced Dungeons & Dragons. Unfortunately, basing the line off the game while ignoring the popular Saturday morning cartoon turned out to be a mistake, so they slowly began adding the action figures to the show. Not many actually crossed over, and today we'll be looking at one of the few that made the cut, the evil fighter Warduke, here on Creed's Collection. Hey, and welcome back to another episode of Creed's Collection. My name's Creed, and today we're checking out the evil fighter Warduke from the 1983 Advanced Dungeons & Dragons toy line by LJN. Warduke's first appearance was right here in the toy line. However, he has appeared in much D&D media since his inception, from the cartoon to the tabletop game. Much of him is shrouded in mystery, although rumors say he was once a noble paladin who descended into evil. He is a muscular left-handed man equipped with a half-suit of blue chainmail and a bat-wing-like helmet hiding his face, save for his glowing red eyes. His preferred weapon is known as Nightwind, a +3 anarchic flaming burst human bone bastard sword, and fully equipped, he is truly a terrifying sight. Generally, he works as a bounty hunter or assassin and is heartless, cruel, and short-tempered. Sounds like the perfect henchman. I should really get some new henchmen. Mine are terrible. You need new henchmen. You scared me. Don't do that. Oh? That was scary. Of course it was. Well, that's what you need from henchmen. They should be scary. You're not that scared. Wait, where'd you go? Hello? Now, come on, this isn't funny. Just come on out. You don't have to scare me anymore. I get it, okay? I get it. Just come on out. Okay, you're hired. Jeez, just stop scaring me. See, I am scary. I think he's scary, and most of it has to do with the amazing head sculpt. His helmet is super sick. I love it. This look definitely puts Warduke in the pantheon of awesome 80s villains. The red gem, the weird bat, dragon wings on the side, and the glowing red eyes. Just wow. He also has this red amulet along with this black leather strappy armor across the front here. He has a cool belt buckle with a skull on it. And of course his signature blue chainmail goes down into his silver gauntlet, which is a stark contrast to the other side of his body, which is basically naked. The lower half of his body's got the fur, kind of like a Masters of the Universe figure. And then he has the blue chainmail on this side of his body as well, along with a dagger and this interesting piece of armor that links his boot to the chainmail. On the other leg, we can see his full boot, which has the fold-over top, kind of like a pirate. It's very swashbuckling. On the back of the figure, you can see his copyright information, which we'll come back to here in a little bit. But I wanted to point out that the details on the back are also excellent, with gold buckles and pouches for him to store extra gear. Now we're going to check out Warduke's articulation. Here at the hip, he has quite a bit of spread. He can almost do a split, and that is pretty sweet. And then here at his shoulders, he has a joint that goes up at around full 360 if you want. They also flex out a little, but his armor gets in the way. The other arm actually makes use of that joint much better, as you can see. The lack of armor makes it much more posable. His head can also turn left and right, and that is it. That covers all 5 points of articulation for Warduke. Now we're going to take a look at Warduke's sword, Nightwind, which was a +3 anarchic flaming burst human bone bastard sword. You can see it's kind of curved, and it doesn't matter how much I boil this thing, it's always got a slight bend to it. But that's okay, it's still a pretty cool looking sword. I like the handle and the hilt quite a bit, as well as the shape of the blade, so not bad. It does have one little stain here on the end of the blade I can't get cleaned off, but it fits in his hand beautifully and looks pretty good. It wouldn't have hurt if the handle was a bit longer, but that's okay, it still fits. Warduke's second accessory is this really cool shield with the skull on the front. It's got the horns. You can see little rivets in it as well as some cool folded steel at the side. Here on the back side is the handle for Warduke to hold on to, as well as this interesting star pattern. The handle's a bit thick, so I have trouble getting it into Warduke's hand. As a matter of fact, I've never been able to get him to hold it like this. No matter how much I try to pop it in there, it doesn't want to fit. The thumb's in the way. So what I do is I put it on him, and then it'll just kind of balance on him like that. Gravity will just kind of hold it on there, but if you shake him or move him too much, he drops it. However, you can put the shield in his hand like this, and it makes it look like he's holding it over his head, like he's like, yeah, let's go. And that actually looks pretty good. Here on the back of Warduke, you can see his copyright information, 1983 TSR LJN Toys, made in Macau. And now for our He-Man size comparison. While Warduke is quite a bit smaller than He-Man, his aesthetic goes perfectly with Masters of the Universe. If the Dungeons & Dragons figures were just a bit bigger, you could put them right there with Castle Grayskull. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch my toy retrospective for the Evil Fighter Warduke from the 1983 Advanced Dungeons & Dragons toy line by LJN. And just like that, we've started yet another toy line. Did you think I forgot about Dungeons & Dragons? Well, I just took my time getting to them. When I was a kid, my mom didn't care for this toy line, so I didn't get to collect any of it back then. But fortunately for me, I had a friend who had pretty much every figure and the Fortress of Fangs playset, so I got to play with it quite a bit. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please leave me a thumbs up and a comment. I love reading and responding to them. And while you're at it, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. I'd certainly appreciate it. It would help my channel grow. I do a retrospective on a toy from my vintage collection every Wednesday. So I hope to see you next week and every week after here on KREED'S Collection.